Hey guys, I wanted to talk about a topic which I've been thinking about lately a lot, nostalgia. I write about this a little bit and I don't want to do another podcast at the moment, so I just said I'd get some FaceTime with you guys while I'm preparing some edits and some music at the moment to just talk about it really. I'm doing a retro night, an old school night on Saturday in the Sky Bar upstairs from Clancy's. And people are always asking me, why don't you do these old school nights all the time? We used to like that music. We don't like new music. We don't like young people. We want to be out with our own. It's interesting to me, right? Pop music, as I say, is built around nostalgia, pop culture, even our Stevie Wonder, right? The Ronettes, Stevie Wonder, two of the greatest artists, two of the greatest songs of all time. I've got nostalgia for those tracks. I wasn't around in those eras. They were before even I was born, and I've got nostalgia for it. So nostalgia is very important, but a lot of people want to hear the music that they grew up on, right? It's a natural thing. I think from studies I heard on radio once that most people, not everyone, not me, and not other music people generally, but most people do kind of like, once they hit 26, 27, they're looking back rather than looking forward, right? So teenagers, my kids at the moment, all they're doing is looking forward. They like old tracks too, but they're generally looking forward. But a lot of people, once they hit the mid-20s, start looking back, and that explains a lot of it, right? So I've been playing to people in the mid-20s, mid-30s, mid-40s. So I would have had a lot of eras. So I can understand why there's people who would have grown up going clubbing and liking the music I play. But they obviously want to look back for multiple reasons. For me, I'm a DJ. I like to keep it fresh. I would have a vision and a kind of a sound that I would have liked. It took me a while to get it. But once I got it in the mid-90s, that's the vision that's pretty stayed. It's developed a little bit over the years, but the kind of sound I want, back in the day, it was this. And it still is, right? Erykah Badu, 30 years later, still sounds fresh. So for me, that vision is kind of singular, right? The reason why people still like that music is that my vision was right? My taste is good. I'm not going to just say that out of arrogance. If you're a DJ and you don't think you play the best music, why are you even DJing? You should have your own fate in your music. So I've faith in my own taste. It's one of the few things in life I'm actually good at. And my vision is good as well. So I have a vision for music, the way I like it, the way it sounds, all that kind of stuff. And a lot of it is still the same. It would have developed over the years. I would have got more into I was always into dancehall and reggae, but more African music, more Latin music. And to be honest, a lot of the excitement these days comes from places like Brazil, comes from Western Africa, Southern Africa, and globally. Lots of the best rap comes from Ireland, comes from England. It's not like before where it was all coming from New York and LA and stuff. So things have changed. But even that vision, even the way people want that music now that we were playing all those years ago, I want to tell you straight away that it wasn't always so easy, right? I remember clearing the track, or clearing a party with this track when I came back from America going, oh my God, I have all these brilliant songs. And people weren't ready for it in Sir Henry's at the time, right? By the way, shout outs to Mark for giving me this, since we're talking nostalgia. We got the Sir Henry's vibe, and I will be playing all this stuff on Saturday night, the old school stuff, the Sir Henry's, the Pav, the Savoy, all that kind of eras. I remember even having to work tracks. So we didn't have mainstream radio at the time. We didn't have social media, so we would have had to work tracks in the club to develop them. It would have taken a good few months for this. And we would have had a pre-release as well, right? So back in the day. I do remember, even as the sounds developed in the 90s, even this sound now, everyone's talking about Timbaland now, but this took years, man. I was clearing the floor with stuff like Aaliyah back in the day, and now people love it, right? Woo! No, it does sound, that's Aaliyah, by the way, with Missy Elliott, Timbaland. It does sound almost futuristic now and fresh now. Sometimes it even makes more sense now than it did 30 years ago, but you have to have a vision and to stand by something. Music can be timeless, but there was kind of fashionable music that was probably out at the time that was coming and going for me that I wasn't into, and that's the reason why we still play that kind of stuff. So I would have had to develop a sound. In the back bar of Sir Henry's, and on radio at the time as well, on Pirate Radio and later on Red FM. And it wasn't all newer music. So for example, even I was going to music that was out even before my time. So that was like an 80s track, which again was before my time, but it became a big track which I had to kind of re-break, we'll say, in the back bar of Sir Henry's and around the country. And to be honest, man, it was tough around the country. Galway was pretty receptive. Limerick took a bit, but Dublin, they were into a harder sound. It was a different hip hop sound. They weren't into the R&B that I was into at the time. So sometimes you just have to sort of stick by your guns and just have that vision and have that confidence in the music you're playing. I'll say confidence in myself, but I was only playing the music. It's not my music. I can't take credit for that. I remember even when this song came out, right, in the early 2000s, even when this album, Frank by Amy Winehouse, came out, I remember looking at the media and they couldn't get it. Like, they just thought it was, oh, this is throwaway, kind of, what is it, kind of jazzy, whatever, soul, acid jazz stuff. They didn't even get it, right? And we all know what happened with Amy Winehouse by the time her second album came. So sometimes you, the DJ, and you, the dance floor, you, the people, are ahead of the game. A lot of the time, actually. Sometimes you're decades ahead. Some of the producers, whether it was Kanye in his greater eras, or whether it's whoever we mentioned, Timbaland, Salam Remy with Amy Winehouse. He would have worked with two of the artists that I just played, Amy Winehouse and the Fugees. So sometimes that's just the way it goes. I'm not going to play old music all the time at all my parties for many reasons, right? One of the main reasons why is new music excites me. So I just wrote today, I just wrote an article today for The Echo. When I was born, grandmama could see it. I be Bentley driven and very strategic. RM sleeve, no diamonds are needed. Flows are heated, so be it by Clipse. Clipse have been around for 20 years, 30 years, really. They're really getting their shine now. They had a big shine in the early 2000s as well, but this is kind of what hip-hop needs at the moment, because for me, a lot of the most exciting hip-hop comes on a grassroots level these days. It's not mainstream hip-hop. We did have it with Kendrick, now in fairness, who's really bringing a great sort of style to the forefront. But like, I am not going to just play 90s hip-hop all the time. I will do it on Saturday, 90s, 2000s, whatever, no problem. But I am not going to do it all the time, because I did it back then. I was there. I was there breaking all those tunes, all of the Snoops, the Gangsters, whoever, right? Biggie, all of those tunes. A lot of them were clearing the floor. Even Juicy took a while. I mentioned Regulate there, that was one of them. So that's one of the reasons why new music excites me. That's why it might be coming from Brazil, it might be coming from Lagos, it might be coming from Johannesburg, but it might be coming from London, it might be coming from Cork or Dublin. And that's one of the reasons why I'm not going to just be a kind of jukebox for old stuff all the time. There's ways of doing it too. So if I'm trying to push a newer sound, like, well, this isn't new, but if you're trying to push an Afro sound, I might do a little edit for myself just to bring a 90s track over an Afrobeats track. So that's how I do it, right? I'll mix a modern Afrobeats track with an old school R&B track. But there's a reason why all of these artists know. Like, the people we're talking about as timeless, like Aaliyah, Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, Lauryn Hill, the modern versions of them are out there now, and that's why I play this music too. That's why I'm playing Thames, Lil Sims, whoever, Frank Ocean. I know he's been kind of dormant, but whoever's out now, and if it's an Irish artist, that obviously goes the same. Sometimes the music might be a bit kind of like, it mightn't be as dance floor friendly, but there's other ways that I can bring it through. If it's not on the radio or through the Echo, it could be through my work with the Jazz Festival or promoting gigs or just pushing it, right? There's a way of pushing the culture. We can do, as I say, all those edits is a really good way of doing it. So I can bring an Afro sound into a classic disco song by just putting Burna Boy over it, right? Another way of doing it actually is, I just do these for myself really. You can do,
send me the location. This year about vacation.
So I'm from the house town, right? Cork is the house town. We got Fish Go Deep. And these are the guys that I was working with, Greg and Shane and Sir Henry's for many years, right? They developed Sweat, The Night. I was DJing in the back bar for 9 or 10 years. And they were the people that I got this most from, always looking forward, right? So everyone wanted their old stuff. If it was 97, people wanted the early 90s. If it was 2001, people wanted the mid 90s. If we were in the Savoy or the Pav, people wanted Henry's. If they're now, people probably still come up to them looking for Henry's. They'll do it on occasion. Mark Walsh, another comrade of ours, has been doing some brilliant old school nights in the Liquid Lounge for his room in Sir Henry's, room 3. But he's producing new music all the time. He's playing new music all the time. He's pushing it forward. Fish Go Deep are releasing new music all the time. I'm involved in new music. I've got projects, workshops. Yeah, we've got the new school running, loads of gigs, workshops. Cork City Library, again starting in September. Got a special one in UCC. You can check out This Is The New School Instagram for all the new school stuff. Workshops in schools with Sample Studios. After school stuff with Feroga. I'm working with lots of people with additional needs in various projects, Brothers of Charity, Coke Foundation, and lots more. Some exciting news about Everybody Dance, which is my free party for kids, for everyone. It's a very mainstream party now, so everyone's invited. It's coming in the Marina Market last Thursday of the month. But I've got some exciting developments there, which I'll tell you about soon in a new video. I just want to say, just on a nostalgia thing, yeah, that's why I did this little video. It's not what defines me, but I understand how it is an important part of music culture too. On Saturday, I will be going old school, having some fun, and I've got some playlists and stuff of Sir Henry's and all of those eras, which you'll see in my stories. Until then, see you later. Thanks for tuning my way. Has anyone made it this far? I doubt it, but look. That's life.